Are you superstitious?
Sometimes.
What do you got?
When I would get nervous, I would say a prayer before the point. And if I won the point, I had to say the same prayer. And if I lost the point, I would switch to a different prayer.
You switch to a different prayer.
Yeah, so if I won the point with Our Father, I'd say Our Father the next point. And if I won the point on Hail Mary, then I'd say Hail Mary.
All right, here we go. We're just two people talking at a pizza joint.
Okay.
Two kinds of people. People that love New York and people that think it's crazy town. Which one are you?
Yeah, I have to cheat and I have to say I'm an in-between. There are things that I love about New York and there are things that aren't great.
Tell us about where you're from.
I'm from the Philippines. I'm from Manila. Yeah, I mean, it's also a big city, a lot of people. So there are things that, I'm quite used to, which things like traffic, busy streets, a lot of people, like I said. Those are some things that are in common, that New York and Manila have in common.
At some point in your journey, you sort of moved from the Philippines to other pastures. Tell us about your journey.
Countries, and I mean, I've been playing tennis since I was 4 and I'm 20 now. So it's 16 years of tennis, but I'm still as motivated as ever. Sometimes when I achieve something big, I like to look back with my family and just like see how far we've come from traveling to all the provinces in the Philippines where the courts are cracked, the fences are broken. You'll have to compete in half basketball courts, half, volleyball courts.
I was told you started playing tennis on a very unusual surface.
Well, yeah, so we have a surface in the Philippines called shell court.
Shell court?
Yes, I'm not exactly sure what it is. By the name, it's probably like crushed up shells and, a lot of other stuff. But I would say it's more similar to clay, but I have never seen it anywhere outside of the Philippines. That being said, when I started to compete and really train hard, we would train mostly on hard court because we knew in the long term that there wasn't any shell court abroad. So we would try to do hard court all the time.
You're athletic, you're left-handed, you could have played all sorts of other sports. What is it about tennis that speaks to you?
Well, tennis started out for me obviously as a family thing. My brother, who's 3 years older, was the one who started to get into it with my grandfather as his coach. And when I would come to watch him all the time when I was small, and then it started as a way for me to bond with my grandfather. And gradually, I started winning. I like the feeling of winning. I started to get good, and I never looked back. I mean,
tell me about your grandpa.
My grandfather, well, obviously he's a very big part of my tennis journey. So he was my coach, one and only coach, from when I started until I left for Spain. So he was kind of just like a club player. He would play a bit of tennis, and then he would read a lot. He would read magazines, he would read books, he'd watch YouTube. That's how he kind of learned how to teach us. So my brother and I grew up under his kind of coaching, yeah.
Tell me where Mallorca fits into your journey.
Mallorca came into the scene at 13. The Rafael Nadal Academy has been, my second home for the past 7 years. So I have a lot of people there and they have played their part in my journey, and I've learned so much from Mallorca in general. So
tell me, what have you learned from Mallorca? What have you learned from Rafa specifically?
From Rafa specifically, there's a lot to learn, I think. Just his work ethic is something that I admire a lot. His ability to suffer is something that Rafa has got kind of unmatched, but that's something I'm also trying to learn. There are some aspects of tennis and being a professional athlete that aren't as enjoyable as others, so being able to stick through it and want to do it, want to go through it is something that he embodies very well.
You didn't necessarily have a player from the Philippines you could emulate. Who did you look up to?
From the Philippines was difficult to, I didn't really have anyone from home to look up to at this stage. But internationally, I looked up a lot to Sharapova. So when I was younger, I didn't really understand what was kind of going on in the game. I liked you know, I like that she was fiery, I like that she was aggressive, and of course, she presents herself very well. I felt like, you know, she always had nice outfits, and, you know, so she inspired me a lot.
You're the first Filipino player ever in the top 100, first Filipino ever to play Major US Open. What is the status of tennis in your country?
I would say it's improving. Right now, I'm so happy to see, you know, how tennis has grown, because people keep telling me when I come back that, you know, it's so hard to get courts now. And, you know, that's what I love to hear, because I feel like that will push for the construction of new courts. And I think having someone at this stage and this level, you know, competing in the slams and being on the tour can help inspire, you know, the next generation.
I wonder if it has its challenges, but also might be freeing and liberating that you're the first. There's not necessarily someone whose footsteps you're following.
Yeah, it's definitely, I feel so honored and I feel so blessed, because a lot of this pride obviously comes from being the first to do it from my country. And you know, I take it with so much pride to wear my flag, you know, and makes me feel so special that, you know, in a sea of, you know, all these Europeans and all these Americans and all, you know, all of these powerhouse tennis countries, you know, there's a girl from the Philippines who made it somewhat big.
I saw you practicing on site during Fan Week.
Yeah.
You leave the practice court and there is this shriek. Just turn around and there are hundreds and hundreds of fans, and I imagine a lot of them Filipino fans that have come to support you.
Yeah, that's, you know, I've never seen any other nationality do this, but I swear if you just walk on the street and you cross paths, like you're going to know they're Filipino. Like you'll know right away, you'll know instantly. And I think that's just the sense of, we say kapwa in Filipino. It's like sense of community or family, like that, yeah.
Say that word again?
Kapwa, kapwa.
What's your message to them? What are you trying to instill in them?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's just to dream big and to see that it's possible. I feel like in the Philippines, when no one's taken that route and succeeded yet, it's hard to see yourself doing the same thing. And I know there are a lot of young girls who have dreams, not just in tennis, but maybe in sports, you know. And I think right now in the Philippines, we're at a moment where women's sports is really booming. We have Heidelin Diaz, which is a weightlifter. We had the soccer team, which joined the World Cup. We have people in basketball, we have volleyball. So it's really so amazing to see just this community of women and other athletes just lifting each other up.
Best piece of advice you've gotten about this journey?
From my dad, he always tells me not to doubt. No doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's something, you know, that I've tried to emulate in everything, you know, just to believe in myself is a super important aspect. Because for me, I think if you believe in yourself, then you're giving yourself a chance. Because if you don't believe, then you'll have no chance at succeeding at all.
Big picture. What do you want out of this sport, this career you've chosen?
Of course, I've always been very ambitious. From when I was young, everybody's dream is to become world #1 and to win Grand Slams, you know. And the better I get, the more I see how hard it is to achieve that. But my belief is so strong. Like I said, there's no doubts. So my goals are exactly that, to be #1 and to win slams, of course. But more than that, it's just to reach my full potential.
You know what you're ranked?
I think right now I'm like 68.
Right. You follow your rankings?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you like your job? You having fun?
Yes, super. I love my job. I mean, oh, if you had told me that for a living I'd be traveling 30 weeks out of a year around the world, meeting new people, doing what I love. I mean, not all people get that privilege, so to do what they love. So I'm so lucky.
That's plenty, right? Should we order pizza?